Without question. Topic 2, we won't spend a ton of time on, but this was a viewer said, what would you have done differently as a collector if you were just starting out? And then we don't have to spend a lot of time on this one, but I thought we can kind of go around the horn because, we've been around the block for a while. We all have gray hair in our beard. Maybe Billy, not quite as much, but anyway, it's like one of those things where we've made mistakes along the way. We have definitely had our collections evolve over time. Just if you look at our backdrops now compared to where it was 3 or 4 years ago, looks very different. And so, is there any advice that you would give collectors out there that if you were starting out right now in 2025, what would you do differently, or what would you have done differently, even starting off back in the day?
Well, the fact that he's in the community and watching this right now is a great start, because when I started off with small little like 1/10 scale pieces because I had no idea like 1/4 even existed, and second I saw 1/4, I quickly sold off all my small little figures. So it's a great start seeing be aware of what's out there before you start buying stuff, especially these days when prices are extremely high and it's hard to even sell something. So back in the day, it was easier. You get something in, you didn't like it, sell it off. It wasn't too expensive. So just I guess my advice would be is make sure it's something you really want before you get invested into, have a plan for your room. If you want to collect certain scales, certain franchises, have a focus of going into collecting.
I mean, we do say collect what you love. I always think of Delaney. Like Delaney always says that he collects what he loves. He has a very eclectic. We always call them sanctuary pieces because he just has pieces that just fit. Yeah. But it's just a hodgepodge of all different stuff, and he makes that work. That would drive me crazy because
he didn't always
I have to have a focus. He didn't always do that. You're right, and so his collection has evolved a tremendous amount over the years. If you look at his old content, and you brought up the fact that back in the day, we didn't have 20, 25 channels of YouTube doing statue content. We didn't have social media doing statue content. There was maybe 1 or 2 out there, maybe, but there just wasn't as many places to discover this stuff, like you said. So I thought that was an interesting point for sure. What about you, Billy? What would you do differently?
I didn't have the focus that I eventually got, but the rules have changed now. It's harder to sell, like Eric just said, back in the day, if you had some pieces and you didn't like them anymore, or you bought it and you're like, I don't really like it once I got it in, you could move off of it. Today it's hard to sell with shipping costs not being what they were back then. That wasn't even, you didn't even think about it, but for today, I would say, have a focus. I started with 1/6. I didn't even know they were 1/6. They were just, 12-inch figures, and then I discovered 1/4, and then I had all 1/4, and then I kind of went more movie route, and then I had some comic pieces, and then I didn't like the way the movie stuff looked with the comic stuff, and I was just like, well, I don't think I could do that. And then you start watching some of the channels, and more you guys started coming along, and it's like, yeah, you should keep this separate, and then the movie stuff kind of got crazy because if the movie bombed, why do you want a statue of it? So I was all over the place. And then, I went 1/3, but then there was all this DC 1/3. So they were bigger, but there wasn't a lot of Marvel 1/3. So since I was doing both, it just looked off. Whereas the Marvel stuff was all smaller, and there was more of them because I could fit more of them. So I was a mess. And then finally, LBS comes along, there's 1/3 Marvel stuff, and then I kept the I just kind of went more comic with a few movie pieces sprinkled in, but now I kind of got more rules because you have to be more strict today. So anybody coming into the game today, I would say have a plan, have a focus, and stick to it. Try not to jump around too much because there's not a lot of margin for error like there was back 10 years ago when I started.
Have you changed your recent plan? Because I remember you sold a lot of your 1/4, and I'm noticing now a lot of new 1/4 behind you.
What are you noticing? You don't see anything.
I see it done. Yeah, I see a little Superman back there.
There he
and
is.
A Wolverine, and a Catwoman.
Going back into the room again.
Some of them crept back in, so some of them were so nice I had to buy them twice.
Yeah, that looks good.
real quick, I'm going to interrupt you guys because somebody asked about the Riddler. So I don't know if this will come in clear or not, but
it's like
good.
actor. That looks, yeah, it almost looks too good.
Yeah, it almost looks like a silicone piece. Like
yeah, it's again their next level where they're going to do some things like that. So anyway, it just gives you an idea if for those that hadn't seen him yet.
When you look at that thing, it says all in one. So I'm really hoping that there's obviously multiple portraits and one of them is more comic.
There are multiple portraits.
Yeah.
I think maybe at least 3. So we'll see.
Yeah, looks good.
Matt, have we heard from you yet? Do you have any advice for collectors?
I would just say when I first started collecting, and I'd watch. That's how I found I found your channel. Then I bought the first statue from you, actually. So, but I was like, why are these guys selling? I'll never sell. And it's like, now I'm to the point to where I'm more picky, because like my wife said, if it's not, oh shit, don't get it, Matt. But then so I'm more picky in that way. But then I'm like, everything that comes in, I got to think of resale. I got to be able to, hey, am I going to get off this thing? Because something's going to come along, just like with the Jim Lee Hush and everything else like that, I loved it, for the time I had it for 2 or so years. And then but it wasn't no shit to me anymore. So I was like, all right, I'll sell it. I'll make a good deal, make a combo, type thing. Cause I got other stuff coming in, what I'm saying, type thing like that.
Yeah.
So I would just say, be picky, be particular, and you don't have to have everything, because trust me, if it's one that you're liking, you'll be able to buy it, down the road somewhere else, on the used market, what I'm saying.
And if you have a comic book store, go to a comic book store and try to see them in person, or sometimes at conventions these days, go to a convention, try to see them in person.
Don't buy at a convention.
Well, right, yeah, don't buy it at a convention. Yeah, dude, they jack up the price like crazy. So if you can avoid that, please do. Definitely check out the Facebook buy sell trade. Like our group is BSC buy sell trade. Of course, there's eBay and other places, but please do not buy from a convention because it's just nuts how much over they charge. But I was just going to say that, like, my advice is kind of piggybacking on what a lot of people have said, is like, collect what you love, have a focus, keep track of how much you're spending. That's important, especially in 2025, because every penny counts. Also be patient. If there's a piece that you can't find today, just be patient and hopefully you'll find it down the road. Also, I think my favorite advice that I am really hooking into is what Matt said. And it really resonated me with the oh shit comment, because it's like, if it's not an oh shit piece, it doesn't wow you. It's going to have to be PG-13 tonight on the show. It was Matt dropping the F-bomb earlier. So sorry, kids. But anyway, it's just like, if it doesn't have that wow factor, I'm to the point in our collecting journey, I think most of us, is we're not going to go there then. No. It's like, and that's the next thing, is not only it should be an oh wow piece, but also, and I know this is not for everybody, but like, you can't get too attached to this stuff.
Yep.
Enjoy it as art on a wall, art in an art print, art in statue form, whatever art you're enjoying, but enjoy it for a while. And if after a while you don't even look at it anymore, guess what? It's time to get something different.
Yep.
And if there's something that's, you're just trying to scratch that itch, like this is a scratch your itch piece for me. Will this one stay in my collection forever? I don't know. I don't know at this point. But it's one of those things where I'm going to enjoy it for a while and then maybe move on, but I'm not going to get too attached to any of this stuff. There are certain pieces that mean more to me. Like, again, the bat bike was special to me because Dan flew in for that. Like, that was really special for me. And just some of the pieces that I have autographed by the artist, like like that means a lot to me. So those pieces would probably be the last ones to go. But I'm not attached to any of this. If I had to sell it all tomorrow, I would be okay.
I got 2 months on 0 a year, and it's out the door.
2 months?
2 months.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, it doesn't, I'm like, what is he doing with this thing, But because Grim Knight didn't last too long because he wasn't Batman enough. And he's very similar, guns and all this stuff. You got Batman on a dirt bike in the jungle, and I know what you like. We've been together long enough. You know,
Yep.
it's not nitty gritty Gotham City. So
Right.
when stuff has to go, he's gonna ride his bike out the door first.
It might be. It might be.
I don't know. I keep you've held on to Batsuit Joker for a very long time, and that's like
Yeah.
an oddball piece. So
Yeah.
And that's a cross-dressing Batman.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's what did my wife say? Marilyn Monroe Batman, or it's
Drag queen Batman.
yeah. Marilyn Monroe Batman was the Tech 1000.
Mhm.
What did she say the other day? I showed her this yesterday. I don't know. Everything she said is
T-shirt
hilarious.
Batman.
Like,
T-shirt.
yeah,
She
T-shirt
said
Batman. It's
T-shirt
like, oh, it's
Batman.
T-shirt Batman.
Summer Batman.
Yeah, it's like it's just always funny. But
Frank Castle Bat.
yeah, I was gonna say the only person that'll be extremely happy will be JWR, who had first dibs on it. So we'll see if he ends up getting it or not. But I don't know. I'm hoping to keep it for a while. But again, my thing right now is just the display. I still haven't quite figured it out. So I'm hoping to be able to keep on some of these pieces. I also want to see how something like that looks next to the Killer Croc or the tactical throne, because again, those are these oddball fourth scale that I don't have really room for. So we'll see. Rock, there you go. Josh says, wait, just wait. No, Chris, hold off for 4 months. Okay, that's right. I'll at least hold off for 4. You got it.
He doesn't even have any third scale. Well, it's not really a third either, right?
It's not a third scale.
Yeah,
It's just a slightly oversized quarter. Like if you look at Dan's, like his is right next to Batgirl, and they pair up really nicely.
Was it like the Batman New 52, like how that kind of size? Like it was a little bit bigger.
I think the New 52 is slightly larger than this.
Really? Wow.
Mm.
I do.
But it looks bigger because it's a vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the base is insane.
And then
I mean,
the base is big. Yeah.
the base is what makes it like so crazy. But it does fit on his shelf. It looks really great on a garage shelf, and it's just such a cool, like it's just a badass looking piece. Like it's really well done.
It's definitely looks great. But
And I wish you guys could see it in person, because like I'm looking at it on camera, and again, I think you guys will have a better idea.
I've seen it. Well,
on the
I mean,
review.
I saw it at Dan's house.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
Totally
What'd you
did.
think of it in person?
I like the White Knight better, but
Well, yeah. I mean, that's me too.
It's good. Like I said, it's not for me. Like I do the nitty gritty Gotham City Batman. Besides the Batman Who Laughs, and it's just that one.
Yeah.
There, but like
And-
I'm
and
more
that's why-
grounded with the characters.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get this, because I was getting White Knight. Like I don't need 2 Bat bikes, but they're so different. And really, again, it was just watching Dan's video. Like, it looks pretty awesome. I at least want to try it and see what I think.
Mhm.
I
Definitely.
don't know. Like
But again, I'm not attached to anything. It's like if things go, they go.
I don't know. I think if
but
you do
there's
that,
some stuff you've had forever that doesn't go. You know.
Right. I mean, if you look, there are definitely pieces, like the Sideshow pieces. I've still got the original Joker that was my very first piece that I got from Sideshow. I have bought back the Sideshow Poison Ivy that's right over here. So there's some older pieces that I definitely still have attachment to. But I don't know. I guess I have quite a few pieces that I've had for a number of years now that have stayed, but I've had a lot go too.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want? Any other advice before we look at pictures?
No, good.
We could probably talk for hours on that, Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.